You see guys, I am streaming this on my open broadcaster and sometimes it is quite hard to pick out the scenes because I have a really messy open broadcaster. So if one time I mess up, do not get angry at me, please stick with us and we will get stuff on the road. So spawning down the bottom right hand corner we do have the player playing for team ReG. It is UkraineStar. And up in the left hand corner we have playing for team ESC. It is Grave, the blue Protoss. So I'm wondering what's going to happen in this game. Are they going to go for some sort of aggressive movement? Are we going to see gateway expand? No, we're not. We're actually going to see a forge fast expand or Nexus first coming out our Protoss player. I definitely think this is a good idea at this point in time because we have seen a lot of gateway expand tonight and I would like to see some maybe forge fast expand builds in there. How do you feel in this map, Morley, and also this matchup on this map?
Yeah, I think PvZ is pretty even on Bel'Shir Vestige. I don't think anyone would disagree. The third base quite hard to attack into, so
yeah, I definitely feel Strider's potential on this map with that third base. It's very, very easy to wall it off, and also the force field up. We have seen Nanny Watch Shane on this map several times on this matchup. So I'm hoping that we do see some maybe Strider's potential going down. Might run into a little bit of a late game, or we could see some maybe Swarm Rush coming in a reserve player. No one knows, no one can tell until we get into this point in the time in the game. You haven't watched any of these replays, am I right on that, Wardy?
Nope.
No, so we have no idea what's going to happen.
I haven't watched the replays. I do know the result because it was unavoidable in the way that things turned out, but I haven't watched the games, so I don't know how things go in the games.
Okay.
But I'll cast very unbiasedly, I promise.
Okay, that's it. Because honestly, I've got no idea, guys, as usually. So you're going to see a nice forward fast expand coming down, showing that the Protoss player doesn't want to be as greedy as he possibly could be. He wants to be a little bit more defensive on it, getting that earlier cannon down. But he is going to continue this just as normal, and he has to actually take his natural at his third base, which isn't the best most of the time, especially if it's gateway expand and you've got no idea.
Yeah, and I mean it's going to work out here. He's actually got he does have the overlord overhead, so
Yeah.
you know, he knows what's up. He knows his forge expand. He knows he's safe to go through actually before pool. He's actually making a few links here, and two of these links should block the probe from blocking his natural any further. But four of them are heading across the map, and we'll see how this goes. So, you know what I love about the game hard overlay? The fact that if you have like it doesn't tell you how long the replay is when you first load into it.
Yeah.
It's so useful for casting from replays.
Yeah, that's probably one of the good things about it. Actually, as we were saying, Wagner is actually my team leader. He has actually started to get back into casting a lot more, as he was casting me at Epic Land. I mean, he's a pretty good caster, I must say. He does have a YouTube channel where he was starting to cast. I was actually watching some of them earlier on, between the two MIF players.
Rocked is awesome, man. He's so professional.
Yeah, that's the best bit about him. He's so inspirational as well. Once you're actually talking to him, do you ever see if you say, oh, you're having a bad day or such and such? Like that day I says to you, listen, I'm going to cut down the competitiveness of StarCraft a little bit for a while. He actually texted me and he was saying, well, what's wrong with you? And then he started telling me all this shit. And he's just so inspirational in that sense. It helps you so much, believe me.
Do you have these links chasing a probe around the map, the left-hand side? This probe's getting chased down here, so little probe, he's trying to run away right now, but not going to make it too far. You know, the most important thing is that he's just going to try and scout, and he sees the natural. That's exactly what he wants to see. Just saw it at the last moment there, so you know he's confirmed free base play, and even though there's a gas up for UkraineStar fairly quickly here, it's not too quickly, it's fairly quickly. You know, he's going to have a bit of a faster speed than you might expect. It's nothing too major, and so, you know, Grave, he's not going to be too worried at all. Just to talk a little bit about Grave as he throws down Stargate here in his main base, maybe? Yeah, in the back of his main base. If you don't know who he is, he's a Polish Grandmaster player currently playing for ESC. He's a fantastic player. We actually saw him take part in the SC2 Improved Summer League, where he finished in the round of 16 against some tough opponents in his round of 16 group. He just barely didn't qualify for the round of 16 of the Winter League. I think he was 10th in the points, where top 8 qualifies. So he's quite a well-known face around SC2 Improve, and yeah.
Yeah, so far we're going to see, by the looks of it, some Phoenix play. Yes, we are. We're going to see Phoenix play in the Rebellion space. So this is actually as standard as you could possibly get It really is as standard as you could possibly get in this matchup. It's a good way to take map control by killing all these overlords and supply gapping your opponent, because usually by this point in time they will have a decent little spread on their overlord play, and it will deny strouting at some point in the game. And I definitely do like this. Wardy, how do you feel about this sort of strategy?
Um, yeah, I think it's cool. I think the Stargate play is always cool. We see 3 gates coming up, so nothing too crazy. I mean, the Overlord doesn't know it's Stargate play. The thing is with Phoenixes, like, it's just so nice and easy. You can clean up all the Overlords on the map, you can take down all the map control of the Zerg player, and then once you've taken down all their map control, you can just move around as you wish and do whatever you want to do. Lair on the way now for our Zerg player. Not fast or anything, just standard time. Robo on the way for Grave. And I mean, this is literally just such a standard game. Like, nothing's crazy happening. We're not going to see any kind of all-in, I'm pretty sure. Because, I mean, this is just standard timing for absolutely everything. So we should just see a 3rd base out of Grave sometime soon after Mortal or 2 come out.
Yep.
And then a 4th base from UkraineStar, and he's just investing in Sport Bowlers right now.
So it looks like our Protoss player is going to drop to the count of 4 Phoenix. And that is actually one of the best counts you can possibly go to, usually. Or it's actually going to be 5 Phoenix by the looks of it. Yep, it's going to be 5 Phoenix. So I was actually going to say it's better off to go 5 Phoenix because any Mutilus switch is a lot easier to deal with 5 Phoenix. But Mutilus switch has actually become pretty popular nowadays, I must say, definitely in this matchup. But going that Stargate does deny it for a little bit until that Zerg player gets a hell of a gas bank, and then if he decides that it's actually a good time to do it. But a usual way you will spot it, there will be a Link Hydra attack, which we do see probably is going to happen right now at this point in time. Link Hydra is a really favourite against Stargate, especially if your opponent's trying to go any mass Stargate.
Yeah, it's good because the Colossi are a little bit slower to come out, but the thing is you have to be ready to tech switch. We don't actually see any tech at all from UkraineStar. He doesn't have any upgrades. He actually goes straight for a Spire here. Now, I really don't like this because it doesn't matter how many Mutalisks you make at once. If there's already 5 Phoenixes on the map and a Stargate up, like if you suddenly hit with 14 Mutas against 5 Phoenix can actually micro against that so easily. So I really don't like this choice to go straight into a Stargate here and straight into a Spire. So unless he's going to go straight to Corruptors, which I also just think's awful, I just really don't like this style of play. I think it was so much better to go Link Hydra and then tech switch into it because you have much more opportunity to take down them Phoenixes and then hit with the Mutas much more unexpectedly.
Yeah, I definitely think he knows that he is going to go into this sort of robotics play. I definitely think he has that idea from this point in time. I don't think he has enough to be able to kill this or he might do. Force fields are going to have to be nice force field going down there, more Zals being warped in. I definitely think he's in really bad position. With these Phoenix out right now, as soon as this Spire is spotted, it will just win them more production of Phoenix, and these Phoenix will shut down these Mutas heavily. And they are going to catch another Queen out of place here, while the Zerg player is going to try and harass this natural wall off, but it's not going to be able to do much.
Damage and an interesting time to turn around when he could have killed the Cybercore.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cybercore's not the biggest to pick up. Wow, he's going Corruptors. Okay, so he's going Corruptor Muta, which, it's a bit better. These Phoenixes, I'm pretty sure they've spotted the Spire at this point. No, they haven't, only just, though. And now he will. So now he's going to see the Spires finished, and he's going to know what's up, and he can continue Phoenix production. But this is Mutalist Corruptor, which is interesting. Some things get turned around from the 3rd base, because obviously the Corruptors tank the damage, and then the Mutas, they're there to have the mobility factor. So, I mean, Grave spots this as early as he could, though, and throws down a 2nd Stargate. He's just going to start going to more Phoenixes, adds on cannons to defend as well. This is still a pretty good position for him, and with the Twilight Council finishing, he can add on Blink, so his Stalk has become a lot more effective. This is really just great play so far by Grave, and I can't help but dislike the current position of UkraineStar.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to agree with you there. These Mutalists are going to be caught out by these Phoenix, and they are going to have to be macroed very well. There is a large number of Mutas and a large number not a large number of Corruptors. There's about 5 Corruptors on the map, and there is quite a lot of Mutas. So he is going to have to make with this pretty well, to be quite honest with you. But these Corruptors are doing the one job that they need to do, and that is outbrains these Phoenix and not letting these Mutas be touched by them Phoenix.
For an overcharge coming down here, these Phoenixes controlling well so far, looking to get behind these Corruptors and into the Muta flock, and going to start trading off and losing a couple of Phoenixes. Not really the best, but he does kill some Mutalisks at least for this. And that throw and overcharge still active as these Mutas and Corruptors get a pylon and head on out of there. And Grave still on full on defensive mode. He's getting his fleet beacon up here, so he's going to continue with his Phoenix upgrades. And I mean, he's got his third base nicely secured, so that's something for him at least. As we do see UkraineStar just moving now over to that right hand side to get a little bit of a attack going over on this side. So using the mobility of his army.
Yeah, I definitely think he needs to do that as much as possible. We do see more Phoenix just constantly being built here. Double Stargate is underway. If he can get a good Phoenix count up here and maybe get Blink for his stalkers, we don't see Blink being researched, and they don't actually have that ability yet. So he is going to need to warp in quite an amount of stalkers and some Phoenix. The stalkers are going to need to focus down these corruptors to be able to get any work done.
You know what I really don't like about playing this strategy on this map is that you can only realistically take 5 bases as a Zerg player. Like, if this was Altazine, you can take so many bases. If this was Frost, you can take so many bases. But as it's on Bel'Shir Vestige, it's like you can attack to the left, you can attack to the right, and you can take 5 bases. Like, I don't think it really allows you to exploit the best aspects of this play. And a little bit of Zealot harass into this 4th base is pretty nice. He has picked off quite a few of the Spine Claws, the Spore Claws, which were coming up, and now he's getting some drones too. And Phoenix is coming into battle with Corruptors again, and still just playing this out slowly is great. Even, you know, he doesn't have to rush into anything, of course. He's adding on some more gateways now. And he's getting that Anion Pulse Crystals, which is going to give them Phoenixes a little bit of extra kiting capability against the Corruptors and the Mutalisks.
Yeah, this is definitely true. We are going to see a Warp Prism built for the Robotics Bay. He's going to try and be aggressive, but I don't think that's the best idea right now at this point in time. The Zerg player just has every single bit of map control that he could possibly want. And I think the Protoss player is actually in quite a bad position right now. He may have a Phoenix count, but there is a massive Corruptor count behind these Mutalisks.
Yeah, you know, I think the thing is, Mutacorrupt is really hard to play against, because what's the right composition? Like, just Mass Stalker Phoenix? I guess it is. Like, do you start adding some Void Rays in? The problem with adding Void Rays is if they get discovered before you add a high number, these Mutas and Corruptors just fly in and start picking them off, so it's pretty hard to do. And you can see here, these Stalkers are trying to fight with the Phoenixes, just to try and do whatever they can, but Mutas are going to come in and start trading against the Stalkers, and, well, now the Phoenixes come out from behind, and there's so many Mutas going down.
Oh, definitely pretty not the best micro we could have possibly done here.
This is great micro by Grave. Look how many of his Phoenixes are on such low HP, and now the rest of the Mutas are being left over. Oh no! Well, you know, I definitely agree with you. It was looking scary for Grave, but all of a sudden, things look fantastic. He just killed all the Mutalisks. There's 14 left on the map, which is nowhere near the original amount, and he's taking damage left and right as these Phoenixes now picking up drones on the left-hand side. Zealot's nearly killing the hatchery to the right. This is brutal. This is a really quick turn of events.
Our Protoss player is playing this absolutely brutally. Definitely with them Alien Pulse Crystals, he is going to be able to get a little bit under range. There is more Phoenix being produced, or not anymore, sorry, they actually have stopped. He has gathered a decent number and a decent count, so I definitely... Oh, he's going to pick up a lot of drones here, and this is going to stop any more gas being produced from this 5th base. More drones are on the way here. He's going to lose so much. He cannot be doing this if he wants to win this game right now. But that 5th base was killed by our Protoss player, which gives him a decent little bit of a lead actually, because their 4th base isn't down for our Protoss player. So if it's 4 base to 4 base, I definitely feel some worry.
The thing is, UkraineStar is not being allowed to get any kind of gas bank, and that makes it so hard for him to just max out in the first place, never mind kind of rebuild after a fight. And you know, Grave, he's just slowly moved his way over to 4th base now. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hold this here, because there's a lot of Mutas in the sky, but here comes the rest of his army, and, you know, a straight-up fight is not the kind of fight that this Zerg army should be taking. And, I mean, you can see so many Mutalisks going down. The ground army the ground war is definitely being run by them Zealots, and these Corruptors, they're going to be useless once these Mutas die. And, I mean, they don't even kill the Claw side, because they've been focusing on the Phoenixes so much, and, you know, they did do a good job of getting rid of them Phoenixes. But now they're going to turn around and fight, and against these Stalker numbers, I'm not sure if it's the best decision.
He cannot do what he is doing right now. He is trading so inefficiently against this Protoss army. He cannot be doing this. There is only a small number of Mutas left, 7 in total right now, and that is not enough. We do have another 9 in production, but more Phoenix are being produced, and this Corruptor count still is at a decent count, but this Stalker count is just getting out of control right now, and Archons are being added in for that AoE damage. I definitely do not know what our Zerg player can do.
Yeah. This just gets worse and worse. The Protoss, he never really lost anything significant. He never really took significant damage. If you look at workers lost, you know, it's actually Grave has killed 41 workers, and UkraineStar with Mutalisk Corruptor has killed 4 workers through the game. Like, it's just crazy. Like, he's, you know, Grave has just done so much damage with his Phoenixes, and it's just not the way things should really be. And now we see Lings trying to go for a run by, but Zealot's on hold position. There's a sentry there as well as a cannon here. You know, these Lings can't do anything, and now they're going to die to these stalkers or get chased away at least. And well, Grave actually losing a couple of Phoenixes here to the Corruptors, and might lose a couple more. Has to be careful. But I mean, the Corruptor count keeps falling, and again, UkraineStar doesn't have a gas bank. You can't keep remaking these. And a few swarm hosts coming out here. Just one, so it looks like as though it was just a misclick. But he's actually making Hydras kind of almost in desperation now.
Yeah, I definitely don't like the Hydra idea. They may be good against the Stalkers, but definitely not good against the Colossus and the AoE damage of the Archon. So I definitely think he is going to start producing. No, he's not. He's actually going to go. I thought that was Colossus in production. He's going to go back and start producing another Warp Prism to do some more multi-pronged aggression. No more Phoenix being produced actually, so that's actually pretty interesting. And just he's actually starting to add on more
I think he's just realised that you know the Mutas, the Corruptors, they're not being remade. He's seen the count has been similar for a long time, and we might have an engagement here. It looks as though Graves in retreat mode, and you know maybe he doesn't quite have enough to take this on. Recall's going to save him from what was potentially a little bit of a doomed position. This Archon's going to go down, and well, some Zealots heading over to the left-hand side, going to move straight towards this third base, try and do some damage here, but, you know, UkraineStar, he's reacting very quickly, while Grave, you know, the most important thing for Grave is this buys him a little bit more time to get Storm out and to get Colossi out to deal with this new threat of the Hydralisks, so buying himself time, exactly what he needs to do, +2 for the ground's going to finish as well, and, you know, now all of a sudden, his army's so much better than what it was to fight what his opponent has than it was a minute ago, so... That's a nice little move by him to buy himself the time.
I randomly thought a Swarm Host transition was going to come into play there, because we did see that one Swarm Host coming out.
Yeah. The problem was, it could have been a definite possibility because of the lack of Colossi, but he just doesn't have the gas to do it. If he'd had a 5th baseman in gas all this time, he would have had the gas to make something like that happen, but as it stands, he really doesn't. And well, Storm is about to finish, and as Storm finishes, you know, Hydralisks are just going to die to absolutely anything that touches them, so... It's going to get worse and worse for UkraineStar here. You know, he did have that kind of nice time, and if the Mothership Core wasn't there, he might have won this game. But Grave, I think he's all good here. He's going to just keep on moving, keep on attacking, and UkraineStar. I mean, these Hydras aren't even that well upgraded. 2-1s kicking in. I mean, the Protoss army isn't either, but I mean, it's just how does he actually take a fight? Hydras just aren't the best without stuff to tank for them, and they're going to eat storms. They're going to eat Colossus fire.
Interestingly enough, Grave just actually killed one of his own sentries with a cannon at the natural to try and get a little bit more supply to be able to warp in more units, which is actually pretty interesting. We do have a drone and probe lead at the exact same. The economies are blooming for our players right now. It's just all going to come down to this one and only fight and how well our players micro their units.
Yeah, UkraineStar, he has now finally managed to build up a bit of a bank, but the problem is, again, he can't really take a straight up fight, and you know, he can't really exactly slowly transition into something else here. You know, he's stuck with what he's got. You know, you can't build just 4 swarm hosts at a time. You need to build everything at a time, but he's not in a position where he can just straight up trade armies because he doesn't have an army that can do that. And a lot of corrupted Phoenix is actually going down here in the main base as a lot of damage being done, but to the right hand side, we do see the army of Hydralisk is being chased away by this Protoss army. So while a little bit of damage is being done in the main base by UkraineStar, he's eventually just going to lose absolutely everything. And now he's rematching on Roaches, and you know, Roaches, they're not good. 25 minutes in the game, you're not meant to have Roaches. You're not meant to have tier 1.5 tech.
Roach Hydra just gets absolutely stomped by the composition of our Protoss player right now. He
Yeah,
has so many Phoenix, he can just lift them up, and the storms with that AoE damage are just going to rip through this.
Like, I've been trying to like play a bit more Zerg lately, and you know, I'm not very good at ZVP in fact, and the thing is, every time I get into a macro game, I try and play a Roach Hydra Viper, and I just realize, like, I'm not good enough with my timings. I let this guy get too much tech, and all of a sudden everything dies no matter what. And this is what we're about to see now. Just Storm's going to absolutely decimate this army. Everything goes into the orange and red so quickly, and there's so many Storms left over. UkraineStar just can't commit, and I mean, now his bank is starting to wither. He's got no minerals left, never mind gas, and Graves actually taking what is UkraineStar's natural 5th base, while Zealots come in to harass his 4th. And, wow, this just is not good.
No.
There's a couple of Corruptors go down here, and I mean, Grave actually warps in 12 Zealots. I'm not sure where he warped them in. But yeah, Storm's going to keep on coming down on this Roach Hydra army, and...
Yes, it's just decimating this army. Oh my god, the force winds actually make them stay at that storm. Stay into that storm AoE. Oh my god, that was beautiful.
The Zealots warping in were in the main base from the prison. And
Oh
that means
no.
that now, like, I mean, the thing is that ESC Mega cleaned up, the spy is going to go down. So they've done a decent job, and I mean, it's 1,000 minerals worth of units. But now the whole army for, UkraineStar's being pulled back, and now Grave, knowing that it's all there, he could have moved towards that fourth base. He's decided not to. He's decided instead just to use this time to, secure the fifth base, in fact, get some cannons built up there, get in position to defend it, and continue to increase the kind of damage output of his army, adding on Void Rays and more Colossi. He's got no low-tech units in this army anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting place where he put that fifth base though, I must say, trying to steal the Zord player's fifth base. That is usually not a place that you would do that, but he looks to be more confident defending along the right hand side of the map than anything.
Yeah.
He does have more storms here, so this army is going to have to be very, very careful. More Colossus and Void Rays are being produced right now. Can our Protoss player do anything? More Zealots are being warped in. He is kind of caught here. This Mothership core might get taken down as well, which is not really going to matter at all. Storms have not been used yet, and this army is still being decimated, but the storm does go down and just rips through this army. And this looks like there's going to be the end.
I mean, that's everything just going to go down now. These Hydras are going to die.